James Pearce Jr. Here's a guy, right, that has, oh my God, I did the Chris Collinsworth.
Oh, here's a guy that...
Here's a guy that had the elite production.
Yes.
He had the production. He tests like a freak. And the one word that keeps coming up when you mention a guy, and James Pearce Jr. is the bend. He's got the bend. He can get around. Talk to me about James Pearce Jr. and how do you like his fit for the Bengals?
I mean, that first step explosiveness was just so impressive. I mean, you certainly see it on the field. You certainly see that in his production. It's how he wins as a pass rusher. He gives you that juice off the edge that you just don't find very often. And, with the Bengals, it feels like they've gravitated a little bit more towards those heavy-handed 4-3 defensive end type of players. But if they want to switch it up and say, we've got to get faster on the defensive line, this is a guy to be able to do it. When he lined up for his 40 and when you saw his 10-yard split, I mean, it is smooth, it is effortless, and it is so quick off the line of scrimmage. So is he still working out his total pass rush profile? Is he still trying to make sure that he wins in more ways than just with that great first step? Yes, he is still kind of getting better as well. But he is another guy, true junior, young guy coming out. And so if you believe that he can really pick up some other pass rush moves, play with better power that he did this past season, if you think that that's sort of the progression of him, I mean, he would be somebody that I think would be fantastic for the Bengals to make sure that they're getting more speed on that D-line.
For sure. It feels like the Bengals are getting a second chance at life, right? Last year, they passed up on Jared Verse for Amarius Mims.
Yeah.
It turned out to be a good pick, especially for the Bengals.
They're going to need Mims.
They're going to need Mims. But with the defensive line going through a little bit of change, Al Golden as the new defensive coordinator, I got to ask you the question I ask you every single year, brother. If it comes down to James Pearce Jr., I'm going to take Shamar off the board, okay? James Pearce Jr., Walter Nolan, Mike Green. Who do you think is the best fit for the Bengals at 17?
I think they take James Pearce Jr. I like the idea of that. And it's James Pearce Jr. and Mike Green. I think that they're right there when it comes to my overall big board. Those guys are edge 2 and edge 3 for me. And I like the idea of them adding a little bit more speed. So Walter Nolan's fantastic. He is great. But they did just draft Chris Jenkins Jr. last year, so they're hoping that he progresses a little bit.
Jackson,
You can get some of those interior defensive linemen. Now, maybe not as athletic as Walter Nolan, but I want to see more speed, and I want to see a true edge threat opposite Trey Hendrickson. So to me, it narrows it down to Mike Green and James Pearce Jr. I'll stay true to my board here, and I will go James Pearce Jr. because I have him as the edge 2 in this class.